but no, they are going to march straight onto site, and Atlas is actually going to get one with a ghost. Dermot does trade out, but it is a good start for LGMU's half save round defense, and there we have a sheriff kill from Axum, and if anyone can get away with a save round like this, it is LGMU. There is still one Vandal in hand, of course. They can pick up one or two more.
I think it's
Zion holding down ramp will get
Jamie
Jamie, though, and that is very, very big to prevent this retake from being just a little bit too aggressive. And looks like Mass coming down the hill right now, and it's going to be Zion on top, which is not what they wanted, as Nuka also finishes out Axum, and they will take that. But it was really, really good for LGMU. They could have done that with 1v1 going in their way amongst all that chaos. But yeah, now K-pop are 3 rounds ahead.
Yeah, LGMU now have all of their ultimates available. It's not that often that you see a full team sitting there with all the yellow bars above their icons, sitting there with rifles and the economy potentially to make something happen here. We'll see. I mean, it's a close series so far, and the last of 2 or 3 rounds, K-pop Superstars have just ran into that A site with very little resistance. Now we've got 2 players towards that heaven spot. Are going to pop that Skyle, and the Jet will be dashing in, avoiding all of those Cypher cages. Jamie already desperately trying to hold it off, but it will not be possible, as again the A site delivered into K-pop's hands.
That was such a good bait as well. That Jet dash was just so distracting for Jamie. And of course, then the rest of the team just marches up and shoots up to heaven. So with it being the first round, the LGMU have really had proper Vandals in a while. It looks like they're just going to hang around on B site and let this spike go off, as K-pop Superstars will probably take a flawless. It does seem like LGMU aren't even really gunning for the exits. It's going to be interesting to see if K-pop push deep into spawn here, maybe get caught off guard, or maybe even take one more rifle off LGMU.
I mean, LGMU made the right call, I think, here, but it's only really the right call if they can keep the guns alive, and NKI will take out Axim, and every tiny kill, every one kill that Kareem Pop gets here is huge. It's not so much so the other way, Bigfoot. Though they have just found 2, Korean Pop Superstars are going to be pretty comfortable with their economy. I don't think they're too worried about the cash right now. Look at Zion, 6.5k, Diamond, 5.7. The rest of them still well above 1,500 credits. Even on a loss here, they should be pretty comfortable with the buy, but potentially for both the rounds left of this half, to be honest, with how much cash reserves they do have on a couple of those players. But for LJMU, saving those 2 guns is humongous. They can drop over to a couple of others. They can get that Judge, that Guardian out. Don't have to spend the shield money. It's a risky peek there, Axim.
Axim, no. Yeah, I'd really like to see them focus on 5v5 retakes, because once that early pick or even second pick goes through, it's very hard for them to do that. And they did have 5 ults, you know. That was pretty much the easiest retake of the year if they just kept all 5 players alive. But yeah, unfortunately, with the disadvantage, it does get tricky. Mass managing to get 2 really good kills there, and Mass going to keep on trying to hold down mid, but might get a third. But no, it is Dermot on top there. Dermot must be on very low health, as Nuka has been tickled a little bit as well. It looks like they're going to tripwire mid, and yeah, B is completely...
go into OBS. You need to mute.
I think mid is actually where it's going to be at.
It's all on C here, but she falls, and Dimmed with a big pick there. But the trade is coming out from Atlas, but with only a sheriff in hand, I don't think anything more is going to come of it. And now Jamie might be able to catch the spike here, but no, Diamond gets away with the teleport as well. And Jamie had a chance there to potentially shut down the 1v2 already. But Diamond going to get the bomb down.
And keep on doing this. The numbers are against them, and they just spit it back to their advantage. It's crazy, but yeah, Durbin and Nuka were lined up perfectly for a double kill there, but Jamie was still on the rope when they saw that, so it's just not going to be the timing there. And we've gone from equal 2s and 2s and 2s to 5-point lead for K-pop now. And even though Dash and Maz are on equal kills, the scoreline is starting to get a bit far apart.
There have been a fair few save attempts from LJMU, and there's also just been a lot of occasions where K-pop has just got onto that site, and the trades in the afterplant have just gone really favourably for them. You know, they're going 1-for-1, but if they find the early pick, get the bomb site, and they're in a 5v4, they don't mind trading with you 1-for-1, because they're still going to come out on top. There's been about 3 or maybe even 4 rounds to my count where K-pop's been left with 1 player alive, but that's all you need to win that round, and LJMU just need a little bit of an edge in a few more rounds, and I believe there could be a much more competitive side once they get on that attack. Maz popping the Viper's Pit towards middle will give them a lot more control over the center of this map, and that is where K-pop were trying to make some headway, but they're going to probably decide that this is not worth popping into, really. No one likes walking into that green smoke. It's pretty deadly. There tends to be a Viper lurking on the inside, and she basically gets wall hacks in that ultimate, and you are going to be at a huge disadvantage. Now, we do have two players, that C and Zen, I think, or C and Raze, Axim, playing towards this B site. The Judge, close range, could be deadly for these 4 K-pop players.
Yeah, Axum's already kept them back from this entrance by popping the showstopper to scare them off. We'll get 2 with the Judge, but Dash does manage to trade out. Now C holding it down. I think we just saw from the shadows there just for info, but it was actually stopped. Dermot's actually now teleported onto site, but Maz will get Dermot from heaven, and finally LGMU do it. And they did cost them 2 ults to make K-pop move around the map, and, you know, didn't get any kills with the showstopper. No one really came into the Viper's Pit, but it rearranged them. Kept them a little bit confused, made them not really sure about what their plan was, and they rushed into B and got demolished with LGMU getting back on the board. But now we switch sides, back to a pistol round. Looks like Ghosts are the favour of the day, which is, you know, pretty typical on Split. Good gun for Split, and also not a huge fan of Sheriff's pistol round. If, you know, you generally can do what you can do with a Sheriff with a Ghost and a pistol round and save that little bit of extra money for util, which really catalyzes your tactics when you haven't got the heavy firepower.
Can be definitely favourable to pick up the classic on the Raze, just because when you're flying through the air and you go for that right click, you got a little bit of a better chance than when you're going for that left click on the Raze. Indeed, just the extra bullets, extra pellets gives you a little bit better chance at hitting those headshots. And Diamond already taken low, but it's the nade from Zen that's huge. 2 kills, a 3rd for Zion. And K-pop superstars have put their name on the board straight away here on the second pistol. Maz has shut down one of those players, and Zen just going to back off here. Bigfoot, the spike, is heading towards B, and Korean pop superstars maybe not expecting such a quick response in this rotations. Oh no, Maz might not look CT, but finds the kill. It's a 2-on-2.
Wow. Zen getting at least 4 grenade kills so far.
Last player standing.
Actually gets the grenade right back in the hand of that early one. Dash getting a frenzy spray down. Zen with a headshot onto C, and they take the pistol round. And they're going to get to a very early lead in the second half now, bring it up to 9-4.
I love explosions.
K-pop superstars with a very explosive entry into this half. Zen delivered 2 kills off the bat of that paint shells, and they're going to be very satisfied with that result. 5-round lead, as you say, and this should extend to a 6 unless we see LJMU decide to go for force here. Doesn't look to be the case, as we see a few sheriffs in hand. Shields as well from Maz, of course, with that extra kill money that they did get in the previous round. They are able to afford it. The pressure is starting to mount, though, because, of course, it could be just 3, even 4 more rounds in this half, and map 1 might be over. Sion finds that entry onto Maz. That's the player with shields already gone, Bigfoot. And I think LJMU, they need to really hit B here, because K-pop superstars, they've got 3 hovering over towards that A site. They have got Zen in towards Heaven, who can be an incredibly dangerous player, and the Outlaw is towards B main. But if they could pick off this Outlaw in their hands, this could do a lot of damage to the K-pop side.
Yeah, and you know, the Outlaw is just so powerful.
Be faster.
Where we have a headshot. Don't even need a headshot, but you'll have it anyway as Jamie gets dropped. The rest of us are just going to push onto the site here, but so I'm going to get pushed back by the paint shells there. And paint shells come out and defend back with the headshot of the Sheriff. Just the wall, but no, Dermot with the Spectre spray down, going to stop anything from happening. And there we have a blast pack Judge kill for Zen just to finish off.
Yeah, K-pop, they will convert their second round. They'll be happy with it. And here comes the real test. LJMU will have, I think, by my count, 2 shots here to claim some rounds, to build some momentum, to try and upset this first map victory for K-pop. They'll have a bye here. They'll have an eco in the following round, and they'll be able to get some kind of a force out. Worst case scenario if they lose both of these following rounds. Now the Vandals in hand on the offense. They should be able to make something happen. They're getting aggressive on the defense, and Zion hits the headshot.
This is insane, mate. K-pop are just looking so good right now. They're on the track to get both University League victories, Neil and NSE in their belt. They might take both first places this season. This is crazy. Headshot, man. LGMU get their rivals on board, and then Zion says, twice in a row now. Outlaw takes down 2 rifles.
That is a smart investment indeed. C will get the trade, which is important. You know, you don't want that Outlaw that still had another 6-7 bullets in it rocking around the map. But down a man, 3v4 on the offense here in Split. You can't ask. Maz has somehow looked. I didn't even spot that at the minute. Maz has looked out B main, got behind Dash, but needs to be careful. Diamond is lurking below, and I think Diamond's got a perfect timing, but gets head spotted out. Maz comes out on top. Suddenly, LJMU have flipped the script, and the spike is running on down through B main. We will have Zen towards Heaven, but they're a man down in the retake, and Bigfoot, this could be LJMU's chance here to build some momentum and find some rounds.
Oh my days, Zen. I mean, some of these players are finishing university soon. You know, if anyone's on the stream looking for talent, I'm sure they'd appreciate someone dropping them a line, because once these university teams are over, these players need to be kept alive. They need to be given more chances to do this. That's Zen just bouncing across the map with the judge. Nuka's going to go for the stick here, but C going to wrap around and get the headshot there, and it will be LGMU getting back on the board.
An all-important round for them indeed. Don't want to let their opponents run away with it too quickly. And Maz, 24-10. What an impressive stat line, especially when you're 5 rounds down. That is quite the KDA, and they're actually just 1 point off bringing up that Viper's Pit here in the 4th round of the half. We do see a rebuy from K-pop, of course, because they won that pistol, they won that second round. They were kind of on a bit of a bonus. You might call it the 3rd round. It means they will have some Vandals, they will have some rifles here, and Zion has the jet knives. Can anything be found off of it? They have been delivered B main, and that will be a comfortable spot for Zion to sit in for now. But I do believe that LJMU will have to make a move soon, and if that is towards main, they won't encounter potentially as much resistance as a Vandal. And, I don't think... They didn't clear the angle. Zion has been heard running back, and this could be an angle for LJMU as they start to push in towards post, in towards Heaven. And they've pushed Zen back. The nade will force them back even further, and now it's all on Axim. Can they find an entry onto this player beneath them?
Zion has nade. Way onto sight, but will be shot. Will actually shoot down Axim in the head. Zen gets 2 as well. Zen's going to try and get a 3rd with the showstopper, and it's going to go through. Now Zen chucks a grenade out, and they're going to probably hold C back from making any further movements onto this B site. Zen with a 3K there just to clear out the site.
Yeah, those showstoppers from Zen never disappoint, and Dash will close out that round for Korean pop superstars. Now just 2 rounds off winning map 1, and realistically for them it should be just 1 in a second. LJMU have been struggling so far. They've managed to get onto the sites a fair few times, but in these afterplants, in these late rounds when the time pressure is on, when the player numbers really start to matter, they've been losing players left, right and center. With a 6-round lead, K-pop superstars should be feeling pretty comfortable here on Split. And Zion makes this Outlaw work so well. I mean, it's such a cheap gun as well, Bigfoot. It's having so much impact.
Yeah, if you can use it like that, especially when you know that the enemy team aren't going to be buying those full shields, and you know you can just aim for that massive chest area instead of trying to click on those heads. It's just a very comfortable position to be in. And of course, you do get those 2 shots, but it doesn't actually seem too bad for Zion hitting most people with the first shot and saving that second in the chamber. Axum going to scout out ramp there for a little bit of information. Now backing off, it looks like C's got the spike in mid, but mid is actually blocked pretty clearly there by Dermot and Zion. But yeah, this Maz is pushed into B a bit, but then if we do have Zen with that information, and then Beast looks very well controlled. 46 seconds to go. It's starting to look a little bit tricky for LMU to find an opening, and if the kill gets taken by Zion there, no way. Zion with 2 bullets and 2 kills.
That Outlaw is so
nice
strong.
to see.
Maz farming even
30
more
seconds
kills, but unfortunately for them, it's a little bit late with 25 seconds on the clock. The nades coming in. All of these players from K-pop so close. There's even one in B-Min that I don't think they're aware of.
Player standing.
There he pops out. Diamond finishes off Maz, and it's all on C here. Otherwise, K-pop superstars are going to be on match point.
10 seconds left.
Completely insane stuff we're seeing tonight, man. 2 outlaw bullets, 2 kills, a grenade double kill, a showstopper double kill.
Showstoppers have been insane from Zen, but Korean Pop Superstars just overall have been really consistent on these sort of mid-round plays where, especially when they were on the attack, they managed to get onto the site all the time, and they would just trade each other so well, and that's a really integral part, I think, for these teams. Especially at this level, if you don't let anyone go crazy, you don't let anyone pop off and get 2, 3, 4 kills in a round, you shut them down early by trading them from uncommon angles or just playing together with the utility that they did do so well, especially on defense using that Omen smoke. This is so quick from the raises, they're both going in.
Both going in 2 completely different areas though, and LGMU actually made a really good call here not pushing mid this round, because that was a very aggressive defensive push there from K-pop. You had
the judges.
Zen is just hungry though. Zen is so hungry. If you're not in mid and you're in heaven, I'm coming to heaven. But held back by the snake bite there. Zion going to be peeking with the outlaw. Is it going to be a kill? Zion just cleaning up with the outlaw, and Nuka with the vandal on site. But Mass will actually manage to trade out with the stinger. But we got Zen with the judge coming in. Diamond with the teleport back over the site.
Spots the
Actually
Viper.
gonna take down the Viper's pit for the victory and the double kill. Zion will defuse, and it will be K-pop taking the first map.
That is good performance there from Diamond indeed. Gets in there just before the Viper's pit goes off, Jordy, and that is impeccable timing, because once that Viper pit goes out and Mass could have made something of that, who knows what could have happened with that round. It would have been a long way to come back, but impressive stuff from K-pop Superstars. They are kind of our top seed coming into this game, so maybe we do expect them to have a good game, but hopefully the rest of this series we can see a little bit more out of LJMU. We saw some really good moments of greatness there. I'm hoping when we get over onto Bind we can see some similar ones. I'm not sure actually whose map pick was whose. I didn't remember that from the map veto screen, but we'll hope that they can have a better performance over on Bind when we do get to it, right?
Yeah, and it's such a good map. It was neck and neck like we expected to start with, but then it went very, very towards one side, and it was K-pop coming out on top. But you can see why. You saw the plays I was talking about. I was saying some of the craziest plays I've seen from these players. Yeah, K-pop just managed to come on top. The Dermot with the shrouded step at the end, very useful. If let's just say Dermot didn't have that shrouded step, right? Would have been like maybe 1.52 seconds later getting on the site. The pit would have been up. So that one piece of util changed everything there. Just the fact that was still in the pocket, like, really clutched that round out. And yeah, maybe Mass was the top fragger. Probably could have clutched that round out. But yeah, too fast.
Indeed, but that has been map 1. Of course, K-pop Superstars going to be very happy there to be 1-0 up, but you need 2 to close out the series. So we will be back with map 2 to see who can come out the victor there, and if LJMU can perform a little bit of a reverse sweep. So we'll see you in a few moments.
they're not super different. OnlyFans putting on this round of
Everyone is in haste, snakes, and this snake will end it here for the double kill versus Kyrie on the back of this fight. Cancel back and forth.
Welcome back, everybody, to University Esports Valorant Tournament. My name is Bigfoot, joined by Hanno, and we are watching K-pop superstars against PHL from LGMU, and it's been an absolute banger so far, so we're looking forward to get back into it, aren't we, Hanno?
We certainly are. Should be on bind for map 2, and if we need it, we'll be over there on Sunset. But yeah, looks like Split was LJMU's map pick from what I can see on that scoreboard there. And that's a little bit worrying for me at this moment, because although they had little glimmers of hope towards the start there, Bigfoot, and we definitely saw 3 or 4 rounds from them right off the bat, the first half, that they looked like they could match up with the K-pop superstars team. Didn't really pan out too well for them the rest of that game, and if that was the pick, the map that they're most comfortable with, I'm a little bit worried about how bind might go. But I'm sure they've rallied themselves. They've had a few minutes to cool off from that game and think about what they're going to be doing in the following one, and hopefully we could see some kind of a reverse sweep, because at the moment it's looking very much like K-pop superstars might be securing themselves a space in those grand finals in just a few more rounds.
And K-pop are extremely secure in themselves on bind. I've seen them do some really impressive things. They know that map very well. They know what angles to take advantage of. They've got some very good util combinations, and I've seen individual players clutch out like nothing I've seen before recently. So it's actually a very dangerous situation for PHL to be in right now. I'm actually a little bit scared for them, but I'm also hoping that they can, pull together and bring some sort of comeback so we can get to this third map, Sunset, which might actually be a chance for LGMU to take the full evening. So
yeah,
if they can do that and push K-pop to Sunset, there's a small possibility they can come out on top completely, but it's all going to be down to this bind map.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying earlier that although we saw some really excellent levels from K-pop superstars on Sunset last week, that's not always the case for them, so LJMU should not be too deterred by that. If they do make it to that map 3, Sunset, from the looks of things, should actually be relatively winnable. It's just that last week they seemed to have a crazy level of performance. Perhaps it was more that Bristol was a little bit weaker on that. Bristol Bagras, by the way, I think have been knocked out in the lower bracket already, so coming in as that top seed into this double elimination, they've been not only knocked down by K-pop superstars, they've been knocked out in their first game in the lower bracket, very unfortunately for them. So they must have had some rough maps over the last couple of weeks, but that does mean that K-pop superstars may be slightly untested on Sunset against LJMU, who might have a very strong one, since it is the map that they did leave over. We might see something completely different.
Yeah, and Bristol aren't a bad team. Like, they're a really good team. The Bristol Bears have been really good this season, and yep, K-pop dissected them. Saw them dissect them on stream again the other day, and I was also watching a match actually from the opponent's perspective. So I was watching K-pop dismantle a team, but from the Twitch channel of their opponents. And what I'll say is they were exhausted. They were exhausted by the end of it. K-pop exhausted them.
Let's take a look at the agent select. We see Nuka back on the Gecko. I believe we saw that to great effect last week. Diamond moving off that Omen, of course, onto the Brim. Dash picking up the Cypher instead of Nuka, of course, here. Zen hovering the Yoru.
Okay.
Who knows? Who knows? We might see something spicy here. But no, Axim on towards the Rays for LGMU. Jamie going to be moving off of that Sky that I believe they were on onto the Brimstone. So yeah, we're only seeing single controller here for Bind. I think that's much more manageable. A Fade coming out. Should be an interesting series. Not quite a mirror matchup, but hopefully we can see a little bit of a return to form to what we saw at the start of that last game from LJMU. They can match up here on Bind, but I'm interested to see how this Fade is going to act on Bind. I've not seen it a lot on Bind in recent memory. I've seen it a bit on Split before. People do like throwing that towards, putting that Fade a bit like a Cypher towards the A site, and it works sometimes on places like Haven. I've not seen it too much on Bind, but maybe I've not been watching the right games. Maybe it's a good pickup that LJMU are going for here. We'll have to see how that does pan out.
It can work for sure. There is some angles. But yeah, it's a little bit of a difference. Like just that one agent difference can make all the difference. So yeah, I mean there is some good angles where you can get the Lear over the top, and the Prowlers can clear some very important angles. You know, can clear out lamps, can clear out garden, etc. So yeah, if LGM, you can utilize that fade to the full extent, it can work out for them. But they do still also have the Atlas, have the Atlas on the Cypher alongside. So I think it's a pretty good look to defend with so far.
Yeah.
No surprise to see Fade and Atlas on two different sites. Two kind of info agents there. One Frenzy, mostly classics. Couple of mostly Ghosts, one Frenzy, and a couple of classics here as we move into this pistol round. And it looks like K-pop going to be marching up mid.
It's always interesting to see how, especially on Bind,
B.
people have really moved away from that Sky in favor of the Gecko. The reusable flashes are so necessary on this map. And C getting caught a little bit on the box there. Might get caught up, but no, finds Zion. That's a good early entry for LJMU.
Dermot. Wall bang in the last 10 HP off C there, but C does get a good early kill. Hold Zion back. Spike goes down, 4v4 now for the retake for LGMU. They're all going to be coming from CT, and with 3 players in elbow, this could be quite interesting.
NKR pushing on in, finds one headshot, looking for more. Zen's behind them to trade on out, and they do go in their favor with Diamond coming as well. They do trade 3 for 2, and Dash is just able to walk behind, and Jamie falls there. K-pop Superstars yet again will take the lead. Going to be getting that Outlaw out already, Bigfoot, and we know how dangerous that is. This time it is on Dash. I think it was on Zion before, but oh no, he sold it. Oh, I would have loved to see the Outlaw again, but yeah, they go for the spec. They're going for the safer buyers. You know, if you get rushed by 5 people, the Outlaw's not the best. You know, you do only have 2 shells in that thing, and it can be overwhelmed. And then if you do lose that Outlaw, if that goes over to your opponents, that can be deadly. You know, you don't want to give a gun over to your opponents when they're on an eco like the Outlaw. It can really rip apart a full buying team.
Matt's making quite an interesting flank, but will come across a tripwire. I wonder if they're just going to shoot it and keep pushing, especially now this heavy push out of Hooker is coming in. Zen marching on a site with the Judge, but Atlas does get a classic kill onto Dermot. Dash did actually finally switch that Spectre out for a Guardian and gets a kill. Maybe that was a really good decision by the end of it. Sheriff in hand for Matt and Hooky here, going to try and peek and get ahead, but will miss. Nuka, unfortunately, as Dash gets another with the Guardian. 2 players in Hooker against 4 players on site. 2 players on site have got the better guns. That is a very difficult retake. Zen just jumps in. Oh my days.
Maz is finding a little bit of damage here, but it won't really amount to too much. Again, if one of the nice things about that second round when you have those sheriffs is if you can get 3 kills, you can almost kind of reset that bonus round, because K-pop Superstars would have had to buy back up either those SMG Spectres again, or they would have had to have gone with the pistols. And if you get that sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like the perfect number to kill is 3 or more. If you only get 2, they can drop guns over, they can drop pistols over that they have from the first round or whatever. But if you get the 3, suddenly there's somebody left without a gun, and you have to spend some economy, and that makes the third round buy just that little bit weaker. As in goes Zen already with this Judge.
This is how you play Raze, man. Confidence and aggression and blast packs, and you just take space, and you just see LGMU running away when Zen makes those pushes. Maz's getting 2 really crucial kills there. Zion does take Maz out with the Sheriff, but Jamie managed to take Zen out there, so that's actually looking pretty good with Zen dropped. LGMU with 3 players for this retake. 2 of K-pop Superstars' health have been tickled, so Nuka is over next to Lamps. Jamie's making that push out. Is it going to be Jamie or Nuka? It will be Nuka, but Nuka's down to 52 HP. Zion holding the other angle. Atlas and C have got a lot to do here as the time is starting to tick down.
Last player standing. 1 enemy remaining.
1 for Zion. Needs to find the second, and does. Straight into the head there. Triple kill for Zion. C taken down. 7 seconds left on that clock, so could have played time and probably would have been fine. But Already K-pop off to a very early lead. Dash again topping that scoreboard in the first few rounds of the half. 5-1. Last time it was 5-0. This time it's 5-1. It's just as good.
Looking so good. That final headshot from Zion, just so fresh. Dashing out of it almost exactly the same time as the heads clicked. It just always looks so nice.
Satisfying, isn't it, when you see the Jet pull off something like
Yeah.
that? And some of these Jet players get so good at it, man. And I don't think Zion is any stranger to the Jet pick. Seems to be their main agent. We've seen them on it, I think, every single map. But they make it work, don't they? Yeah.
How many K-pop games have I watched now? I think I've watched just in the past few weeks, like following these brackets, like sometimes on stream, sometimes off. I think I've seen maybe 8 games where Zion's, maybe 9, and Zion's been Jet every game, no matter what the map, I think. So definitely, and it says on our info sheet here, Zion, one trick Jet player.
There's always one, isn't there? As Zion yet again opens up around. That's Axim, his opposite number in a duelist, failed off the bat. And one thing about K-pop here is they've played this round very slow. Just 45 seconds left with not a lot of map presence towards A. They've taken it, they've left it. And LJMU has been unable to walk back into these angles, afraid of the Jet being on those corners with the Vandal in hand.
30 seconds
Atlas
left.
has got the info from the cam, but it's a little bit too late. Only 2 players going to be here, and one's all the way back in elbow.
Oh my days. And actually, Ray's pushing forward so fast. Can scare a player into the pathway of another one. So Diamond does get that kill there, even though it was then making that heavy push. Jamie will drop as well. C behind a smoke with a Sheriff about to peek into the eyesight of Dash, and Dash does get the kill. There's another Sheriff, but it's no problem for Zen as K-pop superstars take a flawless round, making it a 4-0 scoreline.
They're going to be very comfortable with that. Not losing players as well means that the economy just keeps getting stronger and stronger. You know, if they're surviving all these rounds with 4, 5 alive, they're going to have that cash in hand, and you can see it on Zion there. 6.2k, 3 ultimates available. Diamond just the 1 point off, and so far, they're not really being contested on these angles. They were freely given showers there when Zion walks in and taps Axim in the head. They were given all of Hookah, all of B long, and usually I'd see a team like LJMU really contesting this long. You can use that Gecko Flash, you can play with those Brimstone smokes to just give yourself some space on this map to work with, but at the moment they're not taking anything and they're getting punished for it, because if you let these teams get close enough, like we're being seeing here, where they might be able to walk in towards Hookah and take a fight, if they can walk all the way up long as well, then they can execute, and those are tough executes to deny when you're popped into with just 2 players on the site.
And that is probably going to catch Dash here with this nicely placed camera, but Dash it's just out of sight of being seen. I think Atlas may have seen a leg there. There we go.
Camera taken out.
But the camera's going to get taken down. One of the smokes is going to drop, but Derma is actually rotating here, so that smoke is a little bit of a bait. 3 players, LJMU sat on A site, as we do see. Oh my day! Another nade kill, 3 kills for Zen! Oh! Go on, Zen, we need an ace tonight. If you're going to win this game in such a dominant fashion, we do need 1 ace on the board, so get yourself in a spawn and finish up there. Oh, sorry.
The spam from the Bulldog coming on in from Atlas, but already this round's looking over and done with Zion. Just ready to swing. Catches C with the knife out. The other one is caught out by Gecko. And K-pop superstars, they're keeping that momentum up from Split. They are not faltering for a second here, Geordie, and this might be a pretty quick upper bracket final. They might see themselves in that grand final in very short order indeed.
Yeah, and it's not the only grand final they're in. They are in a LAN grand final next week as well.
It's impressive stuff from them indeed this season. They've really stepped up, and they deserve it because they're keeping it clean in the game. They're really not having any of these early round mistakes that I'm so used to teams getting punished for, and that's very refreshing to see at the university level. You were mentioning earlier, someone's got to sign these guys, right?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to see some of these players picked up, man. It's so much potential. I mean, it's hard to compare as well university level esports with what you'll see in like tier 3, 2, and
True.
especially 1. But you know, I think some of these players are extremely capable, and I would love to see what they can pull off in the levels that are above University Esports moving forward. Some of them have played in Beacon.
Yeah. Yep.
That's on
Familiar
the LGMU
territory.
side. Yeah.
Very slow round over here as again we see K-pop superstars just slow it right on down and then pop out at the last second.
No, what is that
Down
thing?
Zion finding 2.
I'll find you.
The second one absolutely outrageous. And LJMU yet again find themselves in a situation. A man down, trying to retake onto the bomb site. Spike already ticking away. They have found an equalizer, but Jordy, they're going to need a lot more than that to close out this round.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Zen stealing Zion's ace there. Cheeky. Trying to get an ace on board before this game's wrapped up. And
No one will
Zen
harm
says
our little
nope.
hero.
But Zion up to 10 kills, top fragging, which is really nice to see. You know, Zion's a very, very powerful duelist, but sometimes out-fragged by even like Dash on the Sentinel role, or Zen on a Viper role. That sometimes happens. So K-pop are like this really versatile team where people are so like versatile in different roles and capable in so many different roles as well. But for once, we do have the 2 duelists on the top, as you might expect or hope to see.
Well, I mean, I think it's just a map 2 thing with Zion, right? Like, the moment you get to map 2, Zion just pops off. We saw that last series. We're seeing it this series with no signs of slowing down. Oh, there's one, and the damage on towards Axim. He's traded out, but that is a 2 for 2. They do have a bit of initiative here, as there is just one player on towards the A side. If they just decide to accelerate here, they will be able to catch this lone defender. With rotate coming on out, that will be C, heading on over towards CT, and I don't know if Jamie's aware of just how deep Nuka is here. So Dash is right on the corner.
Oh, wow.
That is punishing as Jamie goes down. Just one player left alive. Sorry, just the 2 players left alive. Only 1 player left alive on the A site. And they have been completely exposed by this Cypher Neuralink.
Yeah, this is very, very hard to come back from. Not just this round, this half, this game, this series. If Jim, you can pull this out of the bag, it'll be absolutely phenomenal. But right now, it's looking extremely difficult for them as K-pop superstars just put another round onto the board before LGMU can even get one.
Yeah, 7-0 is not the scoreline you want to be facing down when you're already at potentially series point in terms of the maps. And yeah, it's K-pop superstars at the moment. They're being given free reign of the map. I'd like to see LJMU just go for something a little bit more aggressive towards B-Long, give themselves some space, give themselves some info, because without that they're flying blind. C does get one.
Yeah, Zen gets a little bit too hungry, and
it's not going to make a dent in the economy, unfortunately.
5 ults though, might be 4 half shields, but you know, we've got 5 ults on the board on the side of LGMU, so it's maybe one of their last chances to get some momentum. They've got 5 rounds left in this half. If they can pivot around ultimates, you know, they also have the Odin in Atlas's hand. There could be something. Okay.
Oh no!
Yes! Dash goes down. Good start. Axel with the showstopper makes a great push down mid, but now Zion marching on the site. Maybe going to march into Heaven. Yeah, Dash is up into Heaven. Heaven does get a couple tickles there down to 51 HP. Now, very interesting situation here where the defenders are in mid and the attackers are in Heaven as Zen and Zion have just utiled their way up into enemy spawn, holding back the rotation here. And here comes the showstopper of Zen's own, and it's going to get C. What about Atlas with the Odin there? And it's just going to be easy work there. Zen, quick peek and getting the headshot. Wow.
Now, there are 3 defenders on this site, but NK are in a beautiful position to find one, and the nades and the util. And perfect trades coming on out. Zen, again, having a huge impact round there, Jordy. Like, going in and finding the first, jumping in towards Heaven, following that up with the showstopper towards CT. It's just all going right for the Korean pop superstars. And one thing to point out there as well in that round is that they lose dash towards A short. But off of that death, they get so much information about how LJMU is playing this defense and how invested they are in A short. They run straight out A, get into heaven. And although they don't have short, they don't have lamps, they don't have CT, they claim that heaven control. They can then start methodically clearing out CT and work their way back towards A short and hold off those retakes. And it works so well for them.
And now Zion's just going to take spawn again. Going to be easy one shot on the Master. Oh no, Master's actually getting good. I thought Master was walking with the knife. Atlas with the Sheriff taking down Zion, really important. Atlas on the Dermot with the headshot. Won't be another. Jamie gets 2 Sheriff kills though, and 1 remaining for K-pop Superstars after getting demolished by a Sheriff. 4 of them drop the Sheriff headshots, and Axum with the Marshall. It's the first round on the board for LGMU, done in such a stylish fashion.
Certainly was, and I believe what they were trying to do there was go for an A-wrap through defender spawn. Now, it's a rarity that you see that called indeed, but unfortunately for them, they call it on a round where the gamble stack from LJMU is towards A, and the moment they hear those smokes on B, they start rotating. There are suddenly 4 of them in CT, and yeah, LJMU are a few rounds down right now, but you can't discount these players. Jamie pulling off 2 clean, crisp Sheriff headshots, and suddenly K-pop Superstars, they're on the back foot. LJMU, let's hope they can build some momentum off this. They found a round, they've got the guns in hand, and K-pop Superstars are beatable. But can they deliver? Because, of course, at the moment, K-pop have a 7-round lead, and the half isn't even over yet.
Dash's location is noted. That's going to make a peek and get an easy headshot on a Dash as Dash tries to block with a cage. So, you know, they've had an early pick before and they haven't managed to capitalize on it. Let's see if LJMU can capitalize this time. Grenades are getting sent in a hooker there, and it looks like Axon's taking a lot of damage, and on the 5 HP, just on the little coffee table in the corner of hooker. Almost burned to a crisp, but will stay standing. Let's see. That 5 HP can be carried to at least 1 more kill for LJMU. Looks like Zen and Co are going to teleport, I reckon. Yeah, it is going to be a teleport.
Very
Still 2
quick
players on A,
into
though.
showers. Yeah, holding on to this defense. This play through the smoke could be huge, but unfortunately Nuka has run off towards the right-hand side, holding that smoke for their teammate. And somehow, actually, LJMU have managed to turn this around. Nuka, the last player alive in a 1v2, will be taking the teleport, heading on over towards that B-side. Will get the plant because the spike will go down, will start ticking away. But LJMU on the retake, this is a chance to get 2, start to give themselves a bit of a glimmer of hope here on Bind. The rotate towards, this is going to be expected from C. It is the angle held. LJMU find a second and very important round here on Bind.
Wow. You know, if Mass was just like a second or 2 ahead, pushing through hooker, could have shot Wingman and won that round like that, but C, with the excellent fire. Really, really good aim. Does clutch that one out, and LGMU get to put 1 more on the board. Aiming to get to for 4 in this round. I'm expecting that's going to be their dream. Let's see if they can make it a reality. But of course, looking at K-pop's economy, they are still full shield, full rifle buys. That's doesn't matter if they lose 2 in a row. They managed to win 8 in a row to start with, so their economy was pretty comfortable. And even in the next round, they'll be able to do something. So shows the advantage of getting that early momentum going, of course. It's interesting to see LGMU get a bit more confidence, starting to take space a little bit earlier and a little bit more aggressively in these defensive rounds, but full squad not long.
Oh, they're going for more. Axim does find 2. That puts them at the advantage, and the problem is that they know C is still close and trapped in this corner. They just go for the orb, and C doesn't quite hit the shot. Zen going to be very happy about that, as they do live on half HP. K-pop Superstars 3 on 3. They have the potential for the rotation through the teleporter, and LJMU, they've stuck firm. They're still playing 2 towards A. The kill from Massey is huge, and these players, they're going to go for the teleport. Little do they know, LJMU is rock solid on this A site. The utility is still here. They go hopping through, and Atlas will find 1, looking for the second. There is time on the clock if Nuka wants to slow it down, but the spike in hand.
I mean, Nuka is 2 players for the purpose of planting the spike, but If that spike gets shot down on site, as it just did, in a pretty awkward situation here, trying to peek out against Jamie and a camera, and Atlas holding another angle. Atlas playing it easy, not making a peek until it's the perfect time. We'll get final kill. LGMU with 3 on the board.
Last round in the half.
See if they can get this 4th, but like I said, K-pop Superstars economy is enough to still buy a sufficient amount this round. Maybe not completely 100% util and rifles, but you know, they've got enough to win.
They certainly have, and I think LGMU would be pretty keen to make the scoreline 8-4. That gives them just a little bit of breathing room when they do swap sides, because of course if they don't manage to pick up that first pistol, this game's going to look incredibly difficult for them. They're going to need all of the space they can get in terms of round difference, and NKR going straight on in. I think went backwards to try and block the showstopper as it goes flying on out towards Axim, won't take any damage, and C spotted close, Zen just judges them to the face, and it's all going on B.
Yeah, I was wondering what those judges would keep moving forward. It's a good thing Atlas, Axim, and Maz have good shots with the rifles, though. They managed to hold back K-pop mostly. Down to 2 players now as Zen walks on the site, rifle in hand, but will be taken down by Maz. And it does look like LGMU are going to get 4 rounds on the board now with only Dash remaining over in U-hole there. Hidden behind a smoke. Kind of be peeking.
Cage triggered.
Yeah, what do you do in this situation, Dash? I mean, I've seen you do a 1v3 with a Sheriff, so I'm sure Dash can pull off a 1v4 with a Vandal, but it also looks like LGMU are just holding each other's angles, ready for the trade no matter what happens here.
Yeah, they really... Oh, well, there's 1 and then there's 2, but no more to be said indeed, as Dash delivers 2, but that is all that will be found. As 4-8 scoreline, not necessarily what I expected after the first 8 in a row that we saw from K-pop Superstars. And I have to say here, Bigfoot, it's really nice to see this glimmer of hope coming out at the end of that half. That is usually what you would think attacking side on Bind, usually a little bit more difficult once they're on the CT side. Oh, sorry, yeah. What now that they're, I can't tell from the map now. They're actually going to be on the attacking side now, which, well, I don't know how they're going to do it, because from what we saw on the defense, they were quite lax until those last 4 rounds. They didn't really want to take too much space. They investigated showers in 2 rounds. Then they took long, I think, on just that last one. And that was what worked for them. If they can do the same on the offense, maybe we can see the continuation of this comeback.
Axum pushing forward with a shorty, just like as a judge, but of course we are back in the pistol round, so... Dermot moving through the shower is going to take down the wingman, delay the plant a little bit, but location revealed. Maz now pushing forward with the frenzy, and as Dermot reloads, Maz will get the kill. Spike down for LGMU, 1 kill early on in the round is going to help them a lot. Zion on this back foot, right in the flank here with the Sheriff. A moment of silence as they try and get this information. Looks like Zion's aware of that corner and will get 2 with the Sheriff as Zen gets 1 with the Ghost. A very awkward situation for LGMU.
It's just collapse for Liverpool John Moores University so far, as yes, we see some damage from Axim there, but the whole start of that retake was miserable. Coming in with that Sheriff from a short, they tap 1, and then the other one is unable to find any kind of trade to those 2 players running up. Very, very difficult positions to be in. I'd really like to have seen LJMU push to try maybe get some showers control, regain some showers control, maybe even start to play around triple or somewhere else on site. But from where they were playing at the time, it was 2 in that cubby position, and then 3, I think, towards lamps. Very difficult to hold a site with just a couple of angles. You really want to be spread out with plenty of trades, crossfires, and just potential to find picks where your opponents aren't really expecting it from. And LJMU maybe just a little bit worried about pushing into some of these K-pop players who have fragged so well this game.
I mean, there is a judge here, one of the most devastating anti-eco weapons if you can get the angle right, and the judge and outlaw can just get those 1 shots. Obviously, you've got to be a little bit closer than that, but you do see C has been taken down at very low health with those 2 little tickles from the judge spray. Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to push into this B. They might be able to get away with a TP, but you do see Zion very close to the TP, actually rotating to attack the spawn now. No, they are going to choose to keep pushing on a site, and Nuka's going to take down Axum.
One enemy
Oh my
remaining.
days, it's a bloodbath with Atlas left on 4 HP and 3 K-pop superstars to take on.
The spike.
Maybe the TP might have been the right choice rather than walking into that
30 seconds
absolute
left.
demolition, but it's too late now as K-pop look like they're going to get the 10th round on the board.
They are going to be heading to double digits. And they're going to be very happy with that. Very similar scoreline what we're seeing now to the last game where K-pop had these huge streaks of wins. LGMU, towards the start of map 1, they had 4 or 5 together. Here, just towards the end of that first series, they got 4 together. But if they can't find anything on their attack here, it's going to be a very short and sweet series for K-pop superstars who will be putting themselves, as we've said a few times already, into that grand finals, guaranteeing themselves at least second place. And from what we've seen in the tournament so far, Jordy, there's really not been anyone that can properly match them. Yes, we saw Bristol get a map on them last week, but after that one map, Bristol really found nothing at all on Sunset. And I think it was just 6 when they ended up on Icebox. So far, K-Pop's looks pretty unassailable as Zion finds yet another operator pick.
Zion gets the operator in hand. I mean, Zion did actually get taken down by 5 HP with the operator. Zion had full HP. It was LGMU's Raze that had 5 HP and managed to take them out. But now operator back in hand, going to get an early pick. And yeah, LGMU just looking a little bit confused as to where to go from here. It's very difficult. Knowing there's an operator holding angles, knowing you've got one less player, knowing Zen's somewhere with a judge. What do you do?
I don't know. I'd be pretty terrified if I was them right now. That judge can just completely wreck your game plan, especially if you're going into an angle like Hookah where you've got to clear beneath you as well, close on the right hand and left hand side. There's so many positions where this judge can wreak havoc.
Left.
It is actually, of course, over towards Lamps right now, and you won't be aware that is a tag indeed.
Oh, yeah, that is a horrible tag. What a lucky shot there. TP does come through though. I think there is space to just about take A site if his triple smokes go down. Zion does have an op. Let's see how forward Zion pushes. Jet's going to actually spray down Wingman.
That's huge!
Will be sprayed down himself. So that's it. No, that's all that they need because the time is so low. It's worth sacrificing that op to push the Wingman. And Maz does get a final little kill there with the classic before the round closes out. But K-pop now 2 points, 2 rounds away from making it into the finals. Their second final.
Sending that Wingman in. Unfortunately, the Wingman has even lower HP than just an agent, so perhaps you'd rather just get the agent running on in there to try and keep that spike alive, because they left it just a little bit too late. 2 seconds on that clock when that Wingman died. You're not planning in that time, unfortunately, and yeah, as you said, it's sort of closing in on the end of this game at this point in time. Korean Pop Superstars doing a lot on their defensive side to find this information early on, smoking off showers as well here, despite not actually walking in or taking anything. They just smoked off just to prevent LJMU really getting any information or finding any presence without giving away with audio cues that they've actually made some presence.
My eyes are down.
Dash going to lose his camera for a second.
Perhaps the play is to walk in now that they know that camera's down. They've got to be worried about tripwires here, and there's no telling where they might be. They've been chopped and changed throughout this entire half so far.
And even though the TP is definitely appealing, it hasn't worked previously, so it might be a scary prospect to try that TP through the A side, which if we look at the map with all the information, it's a good move. But they probably expect a pretty heavy anchor, so they're making this full push onto site. And you could get Swarm, but Jamie and C managed to get 1 each before Diamond manages to trade out, so we're in a 3v3 situation here, but it looks Like, Axum's on very low health, but will manage to get the headshot for Dermot. This Dash trades, and now it's back to 2 for 2. But Maz does manage to take down Dash, and Zion with the operator picking out a hook and just going to wait for the perfect time to hopefully get an instant kill.
One enemy remaining.
There it is.
Zion finds the one, and as you say, turning it into the 1-on-1 with the knives in hand. But Jamie comes out on top, and LJMU will find, again, an incredibly important round at the last hour to put themselves potentially on some kind of comeback here. 3 in a row for K-pop stars is broken. And finally, the attack shows their teeth. 19 for 8 though, Zion right now, the top of that scoreboard, Bigfoot. It is hard to shut this player down. But luckily for LJMU, the economy is not in a good spot. And they shouldn't have to contend with any outlaws or operators or marshals or anything like that from Zion just yet. Although the Sheriff is still deadly in this Jet's hand. And this is what I wanted to see from LJMU. Korean Pop Superstars taking an aggressive position in towards B long. Fighting towards this position gives them so much info, gives them so much context on where the opponents will be playing. And they're going to have to go for these rotates quickly as LJMU pops on in towards A.
Oh my days, that is big. They've managed to seize up the Bucky, and Axum will get that kill. Jamie's going to get the kill on Zion as Zion rotates round. Another one on Dermot, and now it's looking pretty good for LGMU with only 2 K-pop superstars standing. It's going to be Zen pushing in here with just a Sheriff, 2 away from a showstopper. Grenade in a lamp still. Not going to catch anyone out. Oh, and seized and taken down.
Just the one left. That will be Nuka, caught by the Thrasher, and 11 and 6 the score now. LJMU suddenly setting their sights on a much more active offensive half here, as the first 3 they're a bit slow on taking these positions, going for these plays, but up towards A. The moment they heard that aggression towards B long, the split second call was made. We're going to take A, we're going to take it quickly, we're going to go up short here together. And what an offensive play it was, and it works out well for them. I like the fact that we're starting to see them take more initiative, especially in these offensive rounds where you do really dictate the pace of the game, and you can if you want to. You don't let the K-pop superstars get an inch in these positions, such as long, such as showers towards A. The extremities need to be held.
And Atlas loses the camera there straight away, but will be some really good early information. Also, information for both teams, to be honest, as they find out that B long is now contested. But with the lurk towards A, it is potential that the teleport will come through again. But this time, it doesn't look like A site is going to be abandoned as it has been in the past. We got 3 over on A for K-pop and 2 over on B. And right now, they're just holding the angles, waiting to see what LGMU decide to do. Even backing off away from the TP, so the push towards A can be a little bit quieter. That's a good maneuver, but right now there has been no space taken.
Yeah, they maybe they're just starting to respect the fact that K-pop superstars is going to have a bye here a little bit too much. They are starting to edge up A short, but the opposite is true for Korean pop superstars. They have no info, and they've stacked 3 towards B right now. This could be a disaster for their defense.
Oh, showstopper versus showstopper, and it'll actually be 2 kills for Axum as Zen gets 1. But LGMU are going to get the spike down off the back of that, and it was a beautiful sight to see. So many explosions, but it's going to be on Dermot here, pushing out of heaven off the back of a Dizzy. But Dizzy does actually catch nothing. Maz has an excellent angle here as well onto the spike. Body's going to look pretty good, but Maz's peak looks even better as Dermot and Wingman drop. C taking down Nuka, and Dash just going to retreat.
It's the right call. I think this Vandal will be much more useful in the following round. And K-pop superstars have the space. They have the round difference to allow LJMU to have this one. They don't need to fight tooth and nail for this. They can let it go. They've got 4 more rounds of difference here that needs to still be made up by LJMU before K-pop needs to get even slightly worried. And obviously this round, it looks like they might try and buy up a little bit around that Vandal that they've saved, the Guardian on towards Zen. And LJMU will know about this saved rifle, and they'll suspect that K-pop superstars will maybe start thinking, well, we could buy around this Vandal, we could maybe get some utility and perhaps what they want to do with Dash is, as you can see him right now, he's towards Showers. He's alone on A. So they're going to leave, it looks like, the Vandal towards A by itself, hoping it can hold off a few players whilst they go aggressive towards Hookah as they line up 3 players here. The Gecko Flash won't find anything with the sound cue. Already, LJMU starting to back off from that long position, wary that these players may be pushing in and that it's time to group up. Into pistols and into a weak buy. You do not want to be going separately and giving up Vandals.
Of course, I'm on the push tower in mid as well.
Oh no!
Dash here with the flank, and unfortunately Jamie can't spin round in time. Dash took so much space, and yep, the one Vandal from the last round turns out to be a crucial pivot for this round. LGMU down to 4 players still with the guns advantage. They might be able to get away with this, but it's all going to depend on if Zion can click this head or not.
Party's
Oh my goodness.
Days.
Decides to...
Yeah. Zion might have been able to get 2. It's possible. But Mask chasing after does manage to get that kill there, but yeah, K-pop actually have the player advantage. Even if they might have the gun advantage, and the shots coming out from Zen into Hooker, but will be sprayed down by Maz, equalizing the player count.
30
with the
seconds
spike
left.
down. It's starting to look possible for LGMU.
Oh, they decide to use the Gecko ult, but the almost line up there, but the Frenzy comes out on top, picks up the Guardian, does spot 1 player towards it. He should know about both with the Gecko
One enemy
Flash
remaining.
as well. Dash has gone up huge. That save Vandal's been integral in winning this round. The Neural Theft is out as well. The reveal as well on towards C. Surely they just go for the swing here. They don't need to go for the tap here. C can just try and play out the time. The swing will come on in. Diamond wins it out. And the defuse will come on in. K-pop Superstars, they get 2 match point here. And Geordie, they've got 5 chances now. And LJMU might be knocked down. Well, at any point, if they lose or make one single mistake in the next 5 rounds, they're knocked down to the lower bracket. And they will have to fight even harder and for longer to try and make their way to that grand final.
They won't be knocked out, though.
Here.
They will have a chance in the lower bracket to come back to the final for a rematch, and they'll have to do some
Potentially.
preparation by the look of it. We might see an upset if that is the case, but right now, Zion, operator in hand, full shields across the board, Vandals in everyone's pocket. It's looking like K-pop Superstars are wanting to close this one out this round, but the first bit of damage does go over to Dermot, blind through the smoke from Atlas there, as LGMU are just playing a slow default. With the aggression from K-pop, there is that opportunity to wait and see what they do before making a move, and it looks like that's going to be the option taken this round. So I'm making another pick with the op, but no one's there.
This camera, not often you see such little action for the entire first 40-50 seconds of the round. There goes the Nightfall, and we will be bursting on in towards A with LJMU. But the stack from K-pop is towards Showers, and they've got to be aware of this. Dash finds the 1, Diamond finds the 2nd, and K-pop Superstars coming out on top here in a very integral round. The ultimate as well will not deny the plant, but does do a hefty chunk of damage.
Such a crazy defense there, making LGMU completely demolished. 2 players down. The spike might be able to hold things together for a little bit longer, but with the 2 players standing and taken out, it's going to be K-pop Superstars moving forward to the University Esports Valorant Finals.
They are going to be very happy with themselves there. A 2-0 in the upper bracket final is very confidence-inspiring as they head on into what will be the last game of the season for them, of course. A best of 5 against whoever wins that winner bracket, which we will see LJMU knocked down to, unfortunately. Sorry to see them down there. They did play very, very well towards the end of that Bind game. Unfortunately for them, Split just wasn't really their map there. I think K-pop Superstars had an excellent series, and that they certainly looked on form. Last week they struggled a bit on Bind. That was not the case here today.
Yeah, and it's going to be Keel Krakens and C9 Village Boys playing in that lower bracket. So whoever wins that match will go against PHL for making it back to the final. Well, back if it is PHL, or to the final if it's Keel or C9. To face off K-pop Superstars. That was dominant. K-pop are really on fire this season. we were looking to get an interview, but unfortunately, two of the players don't want to join us. Maybe we can get another one. It would be nice to see what they've got to say. It's been so interesting to see this from our point of view. It would be nice to see what it's like from their point of view, of course. Like I said, the one chance I had to get into their VOD last week, into their VC, I was actually watching from the opponent's VC, which was just as interesting, of course. But yeah, I've got so much to talk to K-pop about and see what's going on behind the scenes, because in front of the scenes, it is looking so fresh.
It certainly is. That 8-0 streak at the beginning of Bayern and everything like that. They've really had some hot streaks, and hopefully they're going into that final with confidence. But of course, we'll be back hopefully with that interview in a few minutes. I believe we're going to have Diamond back, just like last week. See the captain back. Perhaps he's wearing that Hunter x Hunter cap again, Bigfoot, and we can mention it yet again. But we will see you back in a few moments for that interview when it is ready.
See you soon.
No, they're not. Super discouraged and only fans cheering on them this round of
Everyone is who hates snakes, and this snake will end it here for the double kill point from Kyrie on the backside of his fight. Cancels back and forward.
Zara on production, rip.
There we go.
There we're back. Okay, we have got Diamond here with us again. We had you last week, and you answered our questions so well that we got you back in. Welcome back. Congratulations on a swift 2-0 there. Firstly, I just want to ask, who are you looking forward to facing in the finals? If it comes to it, it could be PHL again, could be C9 Village Boys, could be, I think, Kill Krakens. Out of those three potential teams that you could be seeing in that best of 5 finals next Thursday, Who are you looking forward to most?
I'd say Kiel. We have a little bit of a rivalry with Kiel. We're pretty closely situated with them. So, that could be pretty fun. I'd take any of them, honestly. We're pretty confident in our team. So, but yeah, Kiel, I think.
Yeah, you got all the reason to be confident. It's just victory after victory. I just keep on seeing you winning series after series. Even as we get up to these like upper bracket, semi-final, final situations in more than one league as well. You're now in both finals. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. Like I was telling you guys last week, different week, same interview, same result. We were struggling at the start of the season. Brought it all together, and to be in the finals of both is pretty cool. I at the start of the year, I would have said it was expected. I was expecting these kind of results, and then tumble midway through. But we're here to show what we can do, and I think we're doing that so far.
I was looking forward to getting into your comms the other day, but I was actually watching the opponent's comms. It was just as interesting to watch that Twitch stream from the opposing team. But,
yeah.
How are your comms? Like, we get the impression that they're pretty clean.
I'd say they're pretty clean. In that bind game, we got a little bit silly and things are going, a bit awry. But everyone adds ideas. Everyone gives their thoughts, and then I'll ultimately just make the decision. It's like everyone has freedom until I have something I think should be said, and then everyone's just quiet. And I've watched a couple other teams' comms. I don't know if it's university, maybe they don't take it as serious, but they're a bit angry. They bring each other down. That's the sort of stuff you see after the game. Just in the game, just like, all right, whatever, move to the next round, and I think that's what we do good.
Fair enough. I mean, you had a very clean game on Bind today. I want to point that out. Last week we did see you on that. I believe you lost it to Bristol. Was there anything that you changed between this week and last week? Was there anything different that you thought affected the game last week, which is why you dropped the map? And I saw the look on your face when I said you had a pretty clean Bind here today. What are you not happy with there?
Just those last 4 rounds in attack. Yeah. We started getting silly. We just started thinking it was kind of a walkthrough, and kind of treated that way, and everything started going poorly. That's sort of what we changed. I think the first time we played Bristol, we had the Sky, and we were playing this kind of, this generic double duelist comp. I know not a lot of people like the Viper in this map, but I feel like we played this double duelist comp pretty well, and that's why you see it in a lot of our maps. And that Gecko it gave us more on executes with that molly and just getting a plant down to have more guns out. So it was that, and just like the energy. Just we came into that bind game like Bristol's kind of our kryptonite, and then after we got it, after we lost it, we actually picked it against them the next week in a different tournament because we were confident that we're good on this map, so let's just prove it. And here we are. So.
Well, again, yeah, congratulations on making the grand finals, and hopefully we'll see you with a similar performance on Thursday. And again, I think you'll find out the next couple of days who your final opponent will be. But again, thank you very much for joining us, and congratulations on qualifying for the grand finals. But
thank you.
Yeah, again, Bigfoot, any final words to say? What an incredible series that was. Very quick, frankly enough, but that just speaks to, I think, K-pop Superstar's absolute dominance so far in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, just really well done. I'm so thoroughly impressed by K-pop Superstars this season. 2 finals is just such an achievement, and let's see if they can take 2 trophies in one season. Would just be absolutely insane. But you'll get the answer to that next Thursday and next Friday. That's going to be a busy week for them, having finals on a Thursday and a Friday.
But I'm sure they're more than ready for it, right?
I'll actually be there for both myself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good couple of days, and yeah, I'm going to feel like these are like close friends by the end of it, all the amount of games I've watched.
Yeah, it'll be a pleasure to watch them, especially looking forward to the Thursday. Best of 5. Whole different ballpark, I think, when you've got a veto and a best of 5. You've got suddenly playing a much wider map. You've also got a longer series on your hands, right? Yes, you could 3-0, but most likely you're looking at 4 maps, maybe even the full 5 in that kind of a series. And then you've got to worry about the endurance for the team, and people. He was saying about how in their comms they leave that sort of anger for after the game. But if you're in a grand final and you're 2-1 down or something, it can really get snappy. So we'll really push them to their limits in that best of 5 next Thursday. So make sure you join us for that. I believe it'll be a little bit earlier in the day. You can check the University Esports final schedule later on. But yeah, that'll be a little bit earlier in the day, I do believe. And we'll see that best of 5 play out then. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Thank you Bigfoot for joining me. And we will see you next week.
To make it through, tell me how about you? How about you? So where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? You say you love me, say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special, but to you I'm anybody. 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 You say you love me. Say you're thinking of me, but you're just lonely. Tell me I'm special.